Hi everyone. I want to show you a useful tool for creating your own maps that you can add into Basecamp and also your GPS. In Basecamp, they used to have a feature called Bird's Eye Imagery right up here, and this allowed you to download imagery for your GPS if you had it hooked up. This tool has it's not they don't do it anymore. You can't get a subscription anymore. It was something you had to pay for in the past. But there's a really easy and free way of adding imagery to your GPS, and all that it requires is Google Earth Pro. Google Earth Pro is also free, so you don't have to worry about there being any cost to it. The only thing that you have to do is zoom into an area that you want imagery for. Okay, so for us, let's just do the school. And right now I already have some imagery turned on. It just looks like it. So zoom into the school and then you want to go to save image. So we're zooming into the imagery, the area that we want imagery for. So save image. You don't want this title and you don't want the legend because you just want the imagery. So you're going to turn all that off in map options. Okay. And then just say save. Change the resolution before you save. For Garmin and loading it onto your GPS, it won't open a file that's bigger than 3 megabytes without it being tiled. So choosing typically the lowest one lets you have the area that you need and you don't have to worry about it being too big for your GPS. So I'm just going to take that one. And then I say save image. So save it somewhere that you're going to remember. I'm just going to save it under my, I'm just going to create a new folder on my desktop and say test. Okay. Open that. And I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to say it's Canador. And say save. So this is a JPEG file. So we're creating an image file. After it's saved, you want to go to this tool right here. It's called image overlay. So it says new image overlay. Okay. So it's asking you for a title of this. I'm going to say Canador image overlay. And then I browse to where I just saved that JPEG file. So I know it's on my desktop and I know it's under test. Okay. So I'm going to Canador and say open. So it just popped that JPEG onto the map. It didn't really put it in the right spot. So we're gonna update where it's going to be, where the area it's going to cover. To do that, I want to set my transparency to about halfway. And then just move this over so I can completely see the image. So now I'm going to use features like the roads and the pond to try and line up this picture with what I see on my map. So I can see that the pond from Google on the Google Earth imagery is there and my pond is right here. So I'm trying to line those two up. So I just drag the edge and then this edge until those features are kind of lining up. I'm going to take this tool. So I'm looking for the roads. All right, so my roads are not really in the right spot right now. I can kind of drag this a little bit. Okay. Drag my roads so they sort of line up. I'm looking at this road here and trying to get it to line up with that one. So drag this, and drag this a little bit smaller. Okay, my pond is really not in the right spot, so I'm going to push this up. Okay, and when it's in the right spot, things are going to start to look clear. Like right now it's blurry and they're going to become more clear. Okay, That's looking better. I can already see that this road, though, is still not quite in the right spot. And I gotta move this one. Okay, it's starting to look better. And you keep doing that until you're pretty happy that it's all lined up as good as it can get. So when it's pretty good, then you start to move to the individual corners and you line them up that way. Okay, all of a sudden this became less blurry, so I know that's probably in a pretty good spot. That's looking pretty good. Go back down to this corner. Try and get these houses to line up nice. Just using the roads really as a guiding feature. And then the last one is looking pretty good already. Yeah, I'm happy with that. You can spend as much time on this as you want. The longer you spend on it, probably the more precise that image overlay is going to be. But once you're happy with it, you just come back here, change your transparency back to 0 transparency, so it's completely opaque, and you say, okay. So that is, you just georeference that image, and it's going to be stored under your files, and I called it Canador Image Overlay. So this is just in Google Earth now. Right now, it's not on my computer anywhere other than Google Earth. So I want to save this to my computer, to that same folder as I had before. So I go right click on top of it, save place as desktop, test, Canador image overlay. Say save. So that just saved that map into that folder. And that's now geo-referenced as a KMZ. So in Basecamp, you can add it in by saying File, Import, and then you would browse to that folder. Test. That one's on my desktop. And Canador image overlay right here. And it adds that image to my map. If you're adding that to your GPS, it doesn't automatically go to the GPS when you are in Basecamp and you say File, Send to Device. It won't add it there. You have to physically go into your Windows Explorer. And when your GPS is hooked up, you're going to see your GPS on this side of the screen. It'll say Garmin. So you're going to go into the Garmin folder and then the Custom Maps folder on your GPS. You copy and paste that file into that folder, into the Custom Maps folder. And then when you turn on your GPS, this map would be there. That image of Canador would be there. So it's as easy as that. The only caveat is it has to be smaller than 3 megabytes for it to open on your GPS. But it's a very, very handy tool so that you can see a little bit easier where you're going when you're in the field. Like if you just had this map, it would be a lot harder to navigate than having imagery on your GPS. Hope that helps, and have a nice rest of the day.